We'll also have to see about Mike D'Antoni because he is in the final year of his deal with the Rockets. There have been a lot of questions about his future with the team. Rockets owner Tilman Fertitta was actually on ESPN's Now or Never show and discussed this with George Sedano. Take a listen.
Shout out, Sedano.
What seems to be the holdup, I guess, on trying to lock in Mike D'Antoni for the future beyond this particular season?
We tried, and he's represented extremely well. There's some really good agents out there, and he has a really good agent. I think Mike's the right guy for this team, and he's going to be coaching for a long time. But my state of mind is you're under contract, so I didn't even know we were going to be negotiating during the year after this year, and I'm just not worried about it, and I don't think Mike's worried about it.
Gotcha.
Mike is the right guy for this team, and y'all can just book this. I promise you'll probably see Mike back next year after this year.
I promise you'll probably see him back next year.
We were taking a roller coaster ride on that one.
Probably.
That year, when he
man.
says he's represented very well, that would be super agent to the coaching stars, Warren Legary. But anyway, Nick, can you fill in the blank? Mike D'Antoni returns to the Rockets next season if blank.
This is what you say when you know the breakup is coming, but you're not ready to end things yet. And I've actually, sadly, had some experience with that.
Is this something we need to know about your personal life?
This is it. This is a longer
You got a handkerchief right there.
It might come out, but when you know it's about to end, but you're not ready to cut it all the way, that's what you say. Yeah, that's right. But you know what? But what it reminds me of, I'm a Cubs fan. I watched the Cubs do this with Joe Madden all year. Joe won, but he's not resonating the same way. They knew last year that they were going to replace Joe, but they didn't do it. It sure sounds like when you listen to Tilman Fertitta that the Rockets know that D'Antoni is not the long-term guy unless they go and win the finals this year, which I don't think any of us expect to have happened.
Scottie, you didn't think that he was the right fit last year, right?
No, I didn't, and I don't think the owners feel the same. Does feel the same. They want you to perform in the playoffs. And the thing about Mike D'Antoni is he's been a great regular season coach. He gets the players ready to play night in and night out. His style of play is very fitting for a long 82-game season, but when it comes to postseason, he tends to struggle with making adjustments from game to game, from series to series, and those things have shown bad results in his playoff records.
Do you think, that he's the one who can't adjust from series to series, or at least in this particular situation, he's got a star who he can't sort of overpower to adjust? That's what I can't, and I don't know, and of course, nobody wants to talk about it publicly on either side, so I don't know who to hold responsible there.
It's the Bill Parcells. You brought the groceries. This is the meal we're going to make with the groceries you gave me. And, first of all, for Tilman Fertitta to say, I didn't know we would be negotiating. You didn't know that your coach who's going into last year of his deal, that it's typically negotiated. If you're telling the truth, that means Daryl Morey has done you no services. That's your job as a general manager to communicate these things to ownership. Hey, by the way, these are the things that are coming up, the decisions we're going to have to make. If he was truly caught off guard like that, then Daryl Morey has something to answer to. Or he's not telling us the truth right there. And I don't know which one it is, but either way, it's kind of ridiculous for the owner of a team to say he didn't expect this to happen. The other thing is, if Mike is the man for the job, why do you fire his entire assistants, the staff, right? That doesn't make any sense. And what's happening here is you got a guy in Tilman Fertitta. He's a first-time owner. We see a lot of first-time owners have the growing pains of not understanding how this league works. And when you talk about Houston, you go to the Toyota Center, they got a mural. It's got James Harden. It's got the huddle. It's got Mike D'Antoni. But the biggest picture of them all is Tilman Fertitta. Like, people are coming to Rockets games to come see Tilman Fertitta. And so these are all things that conspire to give you a guy who's making a decision without actually making a decision. He's trying to make it say, there's nothing to see here, but his words and his actions say something completely different.
Look, we have a situation who is, one of the most innovative coaches in the game, right, with such a track record. And I just don't know. I don't know if the strength and sort of power he has within that franchise is enough that I can hold him accountable for what's happening. I don't know if I hold the stars accountable for what's happening, or they don't feel like they have the strength or power to make decisions. You've got a general manager and executive who's won Executive of the Year multiple times. You've got a new owner. I just don't know who to hold responsible for what. It's hard to tell.
I do want to make one rebuttal to Scottie. You said Mike doesn't make adjustments. I got to disagree because Mike was always known as up-tempo. We run a lot of pick and roll. We move the ball. And in Houston, he changed his whole system. They play slow. They play iso ball. Mike used to hate iso ball. But the groceries say it's the meal we got to eat. So I would disagree. I would say Mike has made adjustments, but they just haven't been good enough. The team.
Rach, historically in pro sports, when nobody's really sure who gets the blame, who gets the fall, who takes that fall?
It is the coach, right. And look, so I guess what all of these guys are saying is that Mike D'Antoni returns to the Rockets next season if they win a title.
Right, miracle.
And if not, that breakup's coming, baby.
We'll see.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For highlights and analysis, check out the ESPN app. And for live streaming and premium content, check out ESPN+.